Hi guys! Good morning or good evening. Hope you're doing okay. I know it's been a while. Hi. Um. Hi Tina, good to see you. Having some coffee. Oh, pumpkin soup sounds really good. Nice and thematic, since I think fall is kind of starting. You know, it's late September. It should have been a little earlier than that, but the weather's been really nice for the past couple days. Hi! Thanks for coming in. I haven't streamed in a bit. I hope you guys are doing okay. Don't have like a big plan for today. I'm probably just gonna do some like chill coloring or sketching or something and just kind of remember how to stream. Yeah. I hope you're doing okay. I hope you had a good week and a half since I last streamed. I think it was pointed out to me like a sort of recent stream that I've never actually done a lot of coloring on stream, so I thought today I could do some coloring. I just got a pop-up saying we couldn't verify your age. Did YouTube take a good look at my watch history and go, what does any of this mean? I've been hearing about YouTube that like has this new age verification thing that is like really kind of faulty. Cause yeah, it's like I think that's exactly what's happening. Like they're just the YouTube history and like all the stuff doesn't make any sense to their algorithm or whatever. So they're like, are you 13 or are you 30? But I don't know too much about it. I've only just been hearing that it's gone kind of crazy. I think I confused the AI somehow, probably. Tokyo Game Show just started, and State of Play was a couple, like, I don't even know how many hours ago. All the video game news is coming out, like, right now. I'm trying to ignore it enough for a couple hours so that I can look at it later. Yeah, today, not too much of a plan, so I might actually jump around a couple files. Just try to be productive. Might be some coloring Just sketching. Have some stuff that needs finishing. If I can't figure it out, it means I can't get restrictions. I know I usually end up talking about like tablet pen nibs a lot on my stream, but I am at the point where one of mine, or like the one I'm currently using, is going to wear out soon. I can feel it. I'm trying to be a little careful with the pressure that I'm using. Don't want to grind it down too much. Hi! Pika, thanks for coming in. You're doing well. I'm just doing some coloring and stuff today. Just something really chill. Oops. Thank you. Yeah, I haven't streamed in a bit, but I have been doing a lot of drawing off stream. So it's not like I've been doing nothing, but I took a sip of coffee. Got some like thumbnail art and commissions and fan stuff that I've been working on that hopefully I can show off soon. I think like 2 of them at this point are like done essentially, like pretty much all done except the background is there's no background because I hate drawing backgrounds. I can't even do, you know, the first step, which is decide on the background. You know, I'll like draw something and I'll have the background in mind and be like, okay, we're definitely gonna do this, or oh, I want the background to be this, and then I get to it and it just looks bad. Or I'm like, oh, actually, I don't know how to draw this, so even though the plan is there, it doesn't work out. So now I'm just doing things that don't require a background. At least for now. Let me put up my TV windows and stuff. Oops. for now. Don't have a lot of planning on this. That's okay. Or sometimes I feel like if my, coloring isn't completely done, I can't tell whether or not it looks like good yet. Regarding the colors, I mean, not really like the art. Kind of very like arbitrarily choose colors every time I go. I have like the base colors, like all the flats, that's like a palette that I always use, kind of the same stuff, and then when I start shading I kind of just pick whatever. Let's see. Fix up some of those empty spots because there's some gaps in the fill. Hi, Autumn! Pussy booty. Yeah, it's been a minute. How have you been? I think this is too dark now. Oops. Currently walking home in the rain. That sucks. I mean, you can focus on getting home first. Don't need to hang out with me. It's okay. Stay as dry as you can. I love rain, but I hate walking in it. We have good shoes on at least. I don't. This is too intense. Just finished my kendo session. How did that go? Are you like doing it now? Like, you're doing the kendo? I think something has to be a little less strong. It's a little too strong. I've been making my own checklist. Well, I hope you follow them a bit better than I do. Well, that's cool. Doing it. That's awesome. Are you like? Oh, I hope you're not like, you know, keep your eyes on the road of like where you're going. Don't walk into anything. So don't worry about like replying too fast. But man, that's so cool. Did you have to like buy all the equipment and all the gear, or is it like you're renting it? I mean, that's just really cool. Enough about me, Allie. Have you been? No, I want to hear about this. It's really cool. I feel like I'm not. I think that this coloring is really off. I think that. Let me just do some edits here, and then I'll be focused. I can talk about more about it when I get back home. Listening for now. Okay, cool. Yeah, I've been doing okay. Yeah, I know I haven't streamed in a bit, and it wasn't anything like serious or whatever. It was just kind of like things just kind of piled on. Just had like one kind of chaotic week of really like change in schedule kind of stuff. I was sleeping late, waking up late, and then it's just one of those things where like if one thing in your like planned out schedule is off, then everything else is off, and it just compounds. But I've been drawing some. Hi, Janet. Hi. Been drawing some stuff off stream, which has been kind of nice. Like it's not like I don't like I was like it's not like I'm pressured when I'm drawing in front of you guys like on stream or anything. But it was like it's kind of nice to go through some stuff and done some other things. Like some of it is just commission work, and working on works in progress, and others have just been things that I've finished up. I've done some cute, like, little drawings that can be used for, like, thumbnails and stuff in the future, or other things like that. Not, like, terribly exciting, I think. What is going on with my colors here? Let me look. I don't know why my sub view is not showing. How many alleys can I have on screen at one time? Just need these like reference photos. Need to reference my own art sometimes because I like forget how I draw. Why? I don't like this. I think I'll just redo it. But yeah, I think you pointed out that I don't really do a lot of coloring on stream. I decided to just do some today. And yeah, I hope I didn't like worry anyone, but it wasn't anything like terrible or things I had to really take care of. Or I guess maybe I had some stuff to take care of. I think it's more that, like, I don't know, maybe you guys got this. But when you have something that's like coming up, and it's still a far way off. Like, you know, I have a trip that's coming up, and I think like, oh, I need to prepare for this, or it's coming up. I have to keep it in my mind, and I like can't stop thinking about it. Or I think like, you know, it's like a month away, but I feel like it's a week away, and I'm not prepared yet, so I'm just like antsy about it. I don't know if you guys get that, but like maybe it's just me because, you know, I'm a highly anxious person. Who has to plan out for everything. Top left red alley gives off that ominous air of peeking out like that. Sorta does. On my screen, because I don't have my like Clip Studio screen without the model and everything. I am not blocking it, so it doesn't look that bad. We can close that for now. I guess I don't know how exactly I want to shade this art. That's kind of cute. I remember start of September sounding really busy for you, very understandable. Thank you. I mean, thanks for remembering what I said, but also that makes me feel better. I think this is why I was apprehensive on doing coloring on stream, because it's really, a lot of my coloring I think is really simple, but a lot of it is also just me mulling over color choices like for 15 minutes straight. Like I still don't love it, but I think, and then we can still do like the hands and the legs and like the shading on those. But I think part of the reason why it's looking really weird for me right now is because like the hair and everything is not shaded too. So we'll probably, let's just do that and maybe it'll look a little more natural. Because now I don't like the color I picked itself. It's kind of boring. It's one of those things where like the more I look at it, the more off I think it looks. Okay. Just doing quick little edits. But yeah, I was saying before that I don't have a big like plan for the stream, as in I'm not like determined to finish something for this stream. It's just a little like chill. So I might hop files later. Been really excited about some video game news. Tokyo Game Show's going on like now, and I'm expecting more news as it goes on, or really just today. I guess there won't be more, but fun. We'll just hide those layers for now and keep going here. Oops. Yeah, my coloring method is really just take a big fat pen and drop in big blocks of color. And that's it. Mostly because I'm lazy. And I don't want to do all that painting stuff. Some Monhan news from TGS, but not much else. Gotta catch up on that later. Yeah, I think like doors kind of just opened not like an hour ago maybe. So I'd imagine, you know, studios are making their announcements either now or like when they do their little like show for TGS. Yeah, I watched the Monster Hunter update trailer just before I started stream, and that looks really fun. I'm excited to try those. The FF14 collab looks bigger than I expected it was going to be. I didn't think they were going to add like other things. I thought it was just going to be like one boss fight. That looks really fun. I'm excited for it. And a lot of my the people I play Monster Hunter with are also into FF14, so I think it would be really fun. I forgot to ask, what are you drawing right now? So I'm coloring. I think this was like the intended for like an acrylic stand for myself. But I think it's also just a really cute full body image, so I'll probably just use it for other things too. Not just have it like printed for one thing. But I think, yeah, as I said before, I think it was you, Audrey, who like pointed out that I don't do a lot of coloring on stream. So I just wanted to do some coloring today. Yeah. But yeah, like what I said too, I might hop around, because I haven't quite finished. Did a little like GIF style animation for Roberu's birthday and Ruse's birthday, which is right after, and a lot of it is they are done on both essentially, if you consider the work that is entailed for both. But I'm kind of dragging my heels on that because I'm stuck on certain parts. I have it up. I can show you. This is the Roberu one. It's a really simple animation. I think it's not too like complicated. But the point I'm stuck on is my coloring was really sloppy. Or at least my so if you can see, I have these all these like neon lines that like those are my guides for, you know, dropping in where the shading goes. And I did all of that on all my frames, and then as I went in to fill those little like, you know, those little boxes and put the shading in, and I hit play, it was like really sloppy. So it looked fine before it was colored in. Because you can see some of them are not there, and some of them are there. Yeah, it looked fine before they were colored in, and then I pressed play to look at the animation, and it's just like, it's like the shading just jumps around way too much. And it's a short animation, so I think it was very obvious. So I'm at the point where it's like, I know I have to redo all my guidelines and essentially redo all my shading. I just really didn't want to do that. So it's like, you can see like a lot of it is kind of already there, done. But it got to a point that was really frustrating, so I didn't want to do it. I'll press play. I hope it doesn't. It's very short, pretty simple. And then I plan to just throw on a bunch of lighting and effects and stuff and make it look a little prettier. But yeah, I'm worried that I think I'm worrying too much because it's just kind of a short little animation. But for me, it's like the clothes, and then like the upper torso kind of part is really jumpy to me. So it was a lot of the shading here and a lot of shading on just like the hoodie that I felt was just really like not consistent. And then the more I thought about that, the more I was like looking at the hair and being like, oh, the hair, it's like the hair isn't consistent either, and this and this and this, and it was just like compounding. So I stepped away from it, but I need to get it done like tonight. So I don't know, maybe we'll switch. Maybe I might switch over and do some coloring on this. Yeah. And the one for Ruse, that one is mostly like a lot of the art I would say is done because there's only like one drawing I need to do, and then it's more like it's just the hands and like it's just the, you know, the eyes blinking and stuff that are the thing that changes. So most of the art I think is essentially done. But because I want to say that I can, you know, finish the coloring on an animation really quickly, because I've been able to do the coloring step relatively like very fast. So I'm not like too worried, but I've been stuck at this step for like quite a while. But yeah, I think it's just a matter of I need to clear my head a bit. Just got home. Congratulations, dry off. I don't know how rain-soaked you are. Next on the checklist is laundry. Good job, good. Maybe... what's this? I think. Like half of my coloring here looks too intense, and half of it does not look intense enough. So. Shisan, hi! Family and friends, I won't be in the chat, but I'll leave the stream on in the background. Lots of love. Thank you! No worries. I always don't mind any lurking or anything. How's everyone doing? I'm doing okay. How are you doing, Jack? The weather's been... I don't know how it is for you guys. I mean, one of you was literally just walking home in the rain just now. But I don't know how it is for you guys, but the weather has been quite nice here for the past couple of days. It actually feels like nice fall weather, or like at least end of summer into going into fall, where it's not as hot as it's been, but it's not like cold enough that I really need to bundle up. It's been really nice. 55 degrees. Hi, Sheriff. Howdy. Doing schoolwork. Ugh. Ugh. NYC is very on and off, yeah. Right. I think maybe this It's like the blush. It's just way too intense. I was getting hit with the hot and humid rain, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, sometimes it's like when the rain happens, it feels nice, and then it gets really humid right after, and then you get the rains where it's like really hot and humid during, and those are bad. Don't love my color choices today. But that's East Coast weather for you. Sorry, I was sipping my coffee. I'm hoping that as I go on with this, it's gonna look a little better, because right now, everything looks a little... just a little off to me. Okay. I think I will just drop in simple shading left and right, and then kind of refine it later, I guess is the word. I hope it's not me being, self-conscious because I'm on stream, but these are not really satisfied with like the colors I'm picking and everything looks today. It's not like I'm rusty. I've been drawing. It's because I haven't been streaming doesn't mean I haven't been drawing. I've been drawing a lot lately, actually. So I don't know what it is today. I don't think any of my settings are off, like my monitor, you know, color display settings. I don't think they're off. Laundry is in, now we wait. I used to kind of like hate doing my laundry in uni because I would forget. Like, it's easy to kind of forget about them because, like, you'd usually do something in between, right? Or like, you know, that's like a good kind of excuse to study. You know, it's like, oh, okay, well, like my laundry is gonna take, you know, an hour. It's gonna take 45 minutes. So I'll get some studying, or like I'll work on my essay in that time. And then if you're good and you're actually working on it and you're like productive, then you totally miss, you know, the timer and it's just been in there. And you have to pay for it. And then you have to like hope the machines aren't all being used. I know, and all the different like dorms I had in university, all the laundry rooms and the laundry experience were totally different. I always do my laundry after my kendo brushes to make sure I don't forget. That's good. It's a good system. Like in one of my years, the laundry room in the dorm building was quite like big and well lit, and there was space, so sometimes I would like bring some like my studying stuff or whatever down there, and I would just like stay there and remember, like, so I could not forget it. I was right, you know, like a regular kind of coin laundry. But one year it was like a basement, kind of like dingy laundry room, so I hated being there. Hey, Scrub. I think one year, the dorm rooms were quite big. They were like basically like apartment sized, and so you could have the laundry machine like in your rooms essentially, but that would just that I mean, you know, that's just still fighting with your roommates. I'm in the basement. Right, and yeah, I think it was really small too. I mean, just because it's in the basement doesn't mean it's not nice, but the laundry room that I had in my dorm that was in the basement was very, like, you know, not as bad as, like, Resident Evil, but it was dark and, like, kind of spooky. Definitely could be better. And like the hum from the machines, it's always this kind of spooky vibe. Yay, finally back at my computer. Welcome back. I can type faster now. I get it though. I mean, I feel like on mobile, YouTube chat is intimidating because it looks like it's so easy to press the wrong thing. Let's go blue, maybe? Wait, actually that was kind of cute. I literally did press the wrong thing earlier. This is too much, I think. We can do that later if we need to. Wow, that's like too neon, I think. Then do this. Do I have permission to yap? Yes, absolutely. Please, please yap while I try to remember how to color. And while you yap, I will quickly explain this. So something I like to do when I color is, so I have, as you guys can tell, what is this? Oh, this very like cell shady kind of art style, or coloring style at least, where I just drop in like solid blocks of color and I call that shading, and I'm like, we're done. But I do like to do like gradients within those blocks of color. So I'll kind of do like regular cell shading, kind of like this in this animation where it's just a big block. I'm not really using any like painting or brushes, it's just solid. And that makes it also easier to edit. Like if I don't really like this color for this highlight, I can just easily change that without it having to do a bunch of editing. And so on something like this, which is like an illustration, it's not really going to be animated. I need to listen to this first. Thank you. Yeah, so I'll do like these kinds of big blocks of color for the cell shading first, and then I will lock the layer. I usually call it, like on the software itself, it's like lock transparency or lock transparent pixels. And so that means you can only draw on what's already there. You can't really go outside of your own lines. And I do that, and then I start doing like gradients and, you know, painting and airbrush colors onto that. So it looks a little more interesting. So as you can see, like this, the hair here, I kind of just started with like shading with purple, and then I locked the layer, and then now I did like these kind of this pink to purple gradient onto it. And that's really it. That's my entire coloring method. That's all I do. Okay, I'm done. You can yap, Aru. Thanks for listening. This felt like I should talk a little bit about art while I was doing this stream. Arigato. I appreciate the walkthrough. Yeah, I try to give like a little bit of I mean, you guys know, you've been here. I like to give a little bit of explanation or advice maybe. But I also think I'm like super not qualified to do it. I'm like, I was like, don't do what I do. It's messy and there's probably more efficient ways. You know, don't do this. I'd love to try using your advice, but uni is taking my time away. Okay, I totally get it though. I mean, by all means, focus on university. It's totally okay. I zoned out because I thought I said something. What happened? Nothing, not much. Just been chatting about laundry. I'm still not like totally satisfied because I really like I like the drawing. I like the drawing I did, but I'm just not super satisfied with the coloring, but I do think it's helping that I just kind of power through it and then make the edits later because it looks a little bit more complete with some colors on, and it kind of, the image in my head is a little better, so we'll just keep going. Ooh. How do I spill that tea? I will let you send a couple messages and then I will read them because I am invested already. My favorite game just had a leak for the upcoming event. I will just say this, I do not approve of leaks. I think they're bad, so... I understand why people get excited for them, but more often than not, they are... cause trouble, and sometimes they are not real. But that is my opinion. And that's my opinion. Okay. So my kendo practices, at least on Mondays and Wednesdays, and at 10 in the night. That's late. I can't really eat before practice. So I get food beforehand, pick it up on the way to practice, and then eat it after practice. But by then it's been sitting in my locker for a few hours, so it's not great. but whatever gets the calories in. I just got here. I thought you were talking about leeks the vegetable. So confused. Guys, leeks, you know, green onions, they're so bad. You know, they are a persistent problem in the game industry. Well, okay, if the leak was from the creator, then I don't think like it's not really a leak. Because I'm thinking leak like. Insisting they aren't real. No, I mean, I'm not like insisting and like, oh, all leaks are just fake and like bait, but I mean, there'll be people who will be like, oh, like leak or rumor about like this game, this upcoming game, and it's like doesn't come true, or you know, it's questionable. Oh, okay, because I'm like yeah, leeks are fake. They're all just, you know, big green onions if you think about it. I'm sorry, I totally meant. I thought you were like being really serious about like game leaks. I saw the stream notification for today, so I was like, I'm watching the stream right after practice. So I left immediately after practice ended and watched it on my phone. Because the streams usually start around 10 for me. I'm so sorry. They're just big chives. I, like, talking about leeks the vegetable, I am not really... I'm not big on leeks the vegetable as a person, like, either. They're too big. Like, they take up so much space in like a soup or something, and they're not that good. Like, they're not that flavorful. This is the big, like, Allie, just big anti-leek person. You're such a performative vegetable. Like, chives, green onions, they're smaller, but at least they add more like flavor and color to a dish. Like, they're very nice additions. But a leek is just like a big white disc, and it tastes, you know, it's just like a regular onion. What's the point? I stand against leeks. Which kind? Yes. Leeks in soup are the best, especially potato soup. Okay, like, yeah, yeah, okay. They are best in a soup. I think I can agree on that. I think they're not like cute, but like it has a nice like look to it, right? Like, I think leeks are just a nice looking vegetable, but eating them is just kind of like boring. Like, I'm not excited to eat a leek. They are best when they have other ingredients to cover them up. Honestly, like, yeah. Leek's been stuck with me for 20 years. The, like, Lemon Polka and Leek Spin were so weird to me as a kid because I was really into Bleach when I was a kid. And so to me it was just that little clip of Orihime, in the first couple episodes of Bleach, and I was like, oh, this took off. But to me it's always just Bleach. Leeks are good if you want the oniony flavor, but not oniony sweetness. I know, I've never really thought of it that way. That's true. Blender, you might have just changed my entire opinion on leeks with that one sentence. I was like, oh, that's right. Because sincerely hoping you don't get brigaded by the leek community for this. I'm gonna get canceled by, like, the leek union. Because, like, I like cooking, but I usually don't get, like, leeks because they're big, and I don't cook, like, big portions at once. So I'm like, I never need the full leek. So it's like, if I get it, it's usually within some, like, pack of, like, pre-cut vegetables or something, or, it's like I go out and I order something that has it. So I don't really use it myself on cooking, so I guess I just never really noticed that. Like, yeah, it's basically... Like, 2 minutes ago, I just called it, like, a more boring onion, but now I'm like, wait, you're right. Like Bleach, the washing material. Like, bleach and leeks, just going back and forth. Prepping a leek is like prepping a fish. It's a process. Yeah. I mean, I love fish. I love seafood, but I hate cooking it. So I'll usually go for ordering. Like, if I'm at a restaurant, I'll, like, order seafood. Or, like, some sort of fish dish if it's, like, a nicer place we're going out. Because I don't like to cook. I'm bad at cooking seafood, is the thing. Aren't they really dirty? So, like, chefs always have to clean them out really well. Maybe? I always feel like when I see them at, like, a supermarket, they're really nice, but I guess the bottoms. But yeah, I don't like prepping seafood like fish. I'm bad at cooking them. Yeah, seafood's very finicky. And I am not the kind of person to handle that. Like I do a lot of, like, stir fry kind of things. So, and more cooking that's, like, more, I guess, involved in that you're constantly, like, moving the food around and you're stirring a lot. So whenever I have to cook something that's, like, put it in the pan and just let it sit for a while, like, I just can't do it. Yeah, shrimp is, like, the one thing I can handle because it's pretty easy, right? Like, it's easy to tell when it's done. But yeah, whenever it's a thing, like, just keep it on the pan. Don't touch it. I'm just so bad at that. Or I'm like, I just need to check if it's burning underneath, and, you can't do that. I'm bad with, like, fish and, like, salmon too, because I always like the, like, the white stuff. What is there to dislike in cooking fish? The smell? No, I'm totally fine with like, the seafood, like, fishy smell, but it's oh, I'm sorry. I hope you have something to eat. It's more the method of it. Like, yeah, like what I was just saying, I'm not good at just, like, not touching the food when it's cooking. I always kind of feel like I have to poke it to make sure or yeah, like I'm a lot of the cooking I do is more, I guess, involved in that. There's lots of like stirring and moving the food around, so when I have to do something that's like just let it sit, I'm like so bad at that. Yeah, cooking fish is so finicky. 5 degrees over and it gets the texture of plastic. And like temperature control is really important too. You know, the like what's like the protein, like the albumin. You know, if your like temperature isn't quite right, it like kind of like leaks out. Like it's fine, but it's like doesn't look as good, and yeah, I'm just not good at it. But I really like fish. I really like seafood. It's yeah, and then there's some where it's kind of hard to tell when it's done without like poking it or you know, kind of checking it or like lifting it to make sure it's not like burnt on the bottom or whatever. And then, you know, if you've poked it around too much, it just falls apart. Like that's something that happens to me quite a bit, where even if it's, you know, cooked well and like seasoned well, I would have just like poked it one too many times, and like the like fillet, I guess, like that cut fish, it just like falls apart into like 3 pieces. So it's not good looking anymore. Can't wait for artificial salmon for sushi that I can eat it by the pound. Yeah, I mean, there are a lot of variables in cooking, and then the more you kind of cook, the more it doesn't feel as daunting, and it's kind of okay to just do whatever. But yeah, that's the thing about cooking fish for me, is that I think there are just things you can't really predict. So I tend to order it or want to go out for sushi or something because I hate cooking it myself. My hobby is experimental cooking. It doesn't make me a great cook, but it makes me a weird cook. What do you mean by like experimental cooking? Like, do you mean like you're doing like weird things with cooking, or is it more of a you're cooking like normal things, but you're not looking at a recipe kind of stuff? Sorry, I didn't mean to sound like accusatory. Like, what's experimental cooking? I just want to know what you mean. There's so many great sushi places around here, but alas, a uni life is a broke life. Yeah. Especially in NYC. I mean, you know, that's the nice thing in NYC. You're never like starved for choice. You can get like whatever you want. But yeah, as a college student, you're gonna be hurting. Also, like sushi in the States is so expensive. Like if you've been here in Japan, it's so cheap here. And then once you get like sushi here once, you go back to America and you look at the prices and you're just like, oh my goodness. But I do miss a lot of like American sushis, which is, you know, they're very, very different, to the point where I'm like, they're two different things, you know? Like American sushi is just like their idea, like an approximation of what sushi is, but like you can't beat a California roll. They're so good. I'm like, I've been like craving like spicy tuna rolls because you can't really get that here. That's the best way of cooking a seafood cake. Crab cake, salmon cake, smoked salmon cake which is then smoked. Ooh. That's fun. But also, what are all the peasant dishes around the world kind of cooking? Oh, like I love watching videos like that on YouTube. I like, you know, like Tasting History. That's a popular channel. But stuff like that, like kind of historical food and like themed food and like struggle dishes. Like I like to watch those kinds of things. But I'm pretty boring when it comes to cooking. I introduced a Japanese streamer to American sushi. He was shocked. Yeah, it was like, so you guys know that I used to teach people English. And so that was like always like a really fun kind of lesson. Because the way I would teach is just kind of talking and conversational stuff, and then teaching them like English lessons through just normal conversation and being like, oh, well, like you said this, here's a good way of saying that if you're like talking to someone that you just met. So one like fun little lesson I would always give is like show them, you know, American sushi. And yeah, it's very shocking because it's and like I never really thought about it until I was doing those kinds of lessons where, you know, I was like, yeah, American sushi, like the rice is on the outside and I don't know why. Like, oh yeah, thinking about it, rice on the outside is like weird. Like it completely defeats the purpose. But I do think a lot of like people who have tried, you know, like a California roll they're like, oh, this is really good. Oh my god, Sekiro is also 50% off, and I'm debating whether I dip into some of my savings to get it right now. Oh, thank you for telling me, because I don't have it on PC. I have Sekiro on like a PS4. And I've been waiting for a big sale because I definitely want it for PC and I definitely want to stream it sometime. Because it's like my favorite game. I'll get back to that in a second. But like, do what's best for you. I love that game. It's super fun. So I'm like super biased. I can't give you, you know, like it's very difficult, very, very difficult. I feel like I can't give you an unbiased. Like I think if I sat down and tried, I would give you an unbiased opinion. But I do understand, like, yeah, like what you're saying. Uni life is a broke life, so it will be on sale again someday. So don't, you know, worry if you can't. Onigiri here is like $4. Are we being serious? I've made onigiri and it's like fun to make. It's like more difficult than I think you'd expect, or maybe I'm just bad at it. But I'm always just like, it's just so much easier to buy one. Tasting History is fantastic. I cooked some of the stuff, especially the Roman stuff. I always kind of am tempted to make some of the recipes he makes on his videos, but I'm also like, it's so involved. But I love watching it. His videos are great, I think. To maintain that kind of quality and consistency is astounding. He's also just like a really pleasant guy, and he's fun to watch. Would you consider cooking as an art? I'd say yes, it is, but my morning toast, I know, is a master of art. Yeah, that's always like the big question, right? Like, I mean, yeah, I'll pose that question to you guys too. Do you think, is cooking more of an art or a science to you? And I think it's both, I think. Yeah, I mean, my real answer is that I think it's a bit of both. I don't think I'm like hardwired into being like, oh, cooking is more of an art, cooking is more of a science. I think it's one of those things that is like a good balance of both. But I do feel that cooking is more of the art and baking is more of the science. And I know people will disagree with me on that because, you know, I feel like people who bake a lot will say the opposite. But for me, it's just like, oh, you have to be so precise about baking things, and you have to be so precise about the temperature you're using and the like the baking pan and all these things. Like you have to be so precise about what you're using. And I'm so bad at baking. As in, when I bake things, they usually come out looking not that good. Like, if I make cookies, for example, they come out very, like, flat and, like, crispy looking, but they taste fine, they just look awful. Or, like, you know, if I've made, like, muffins or cupcakes, they're also kind of, like, flat or small. Like, they just don't look good. And they taste fine, so it's not really a matter of, like, oh, you know, it's tastes awful, it just looks really bad. And I think, especially for, like, baked goods, the presentation and the visuals are very, very, very important to baked goods. So I think it's just like, this is a failure. But I do always try, like, especially like around Valentine's Day, I always try to make some sort of baked dessert. And they're always a little awful. Also, we deep fry our sushi sometimes. Also, mayo may be involved. I mean, Japan loves their mayo too, but Japanese mayo is a little different. I think it tastes better. But there's some sushi in Japan that's also weird. It's a scientific art. How about that? I agree with that. Certainly a blend. Every baker I know eventually had to turn to drugs. It's not for the faint of heart. Cooking is making food with scientific art. Cooking is an art, preparing food is a science. Baking is making food with scientific art, but differently. Grilling is poking meat until it undulates, right? I must transfer my laundry to the dryer, BRB. Godspeed. Wait, I love flat, crispy cookies. I do too, but when you're not trying to make them and you get them, you're like, oh no. Yeah, I am not picky with cookies. I like the soft, chewy ones, and I like kind of more like crispy, biscuity ones. Is mayonnaise an instrument? But yeah, like, I think cooking, like, kind of starts with the science and then goes into the art, where it's important to kind of know all, like, the ratios and what works with what and what's being used here, what this ingredient is. But then I think once you have a handle on it and you understand a bit more about, like, your ingredients and what you're doing, then you can get fancy with it, and that's like where the art comes in. But I think cooking is one of those things where if you don't really do it a lot, it's super intimidating. And then once you've gotten, like, some practice and, like, experience in, it's just like, it's a thing that you just kind of stop thinking about as you're doing it, which is fun. I was taught how to cook by my mom, and I think, like a lot of moms out there, when you ask them, like, oh, how do you cook this? They never give you a recipe. It's always just like, well, you know, just throw this in and then throw a bit of this in and, you know, add a little bit of this. And you're like, well, how much? And you're like, you know, just a little bit. And that's how I learned how to cook, and that's how I talk about when I cook. Like, my husband is not like that, so when we, like, cook together, he'll be like, okay, how much of this, like, how much soy sauce are you putting in? And I just kind of go like, oh, you know, like this much. He's like, that's not an answer, that's not a number. Like, what are you doing? Like a tablespoon, a teaspoon? I'm like, I don't know. Yep. Okay. Won't like stop completely. Gotta get some stuff. A lot of this process has just been putting a color in and then being like, I don't like that, and then editing it. Via the tonal correction tools. Do you remember Epic Mealtime? It was considered art to be commentary on America's serving sizes because America's chungus big. I know Epic Mealtime, but I never actually watched it myself. I just like knew of it. But yeah. I do love me my food YouTube channels. Oops. What is this? Oh. Oops. Some editing. Oops. That is quite a throwback, though. I mean, back when the 3 websites on the internet were young. And things were different. I see. Line. Try not to wear out my nib too early. I'm trying to keep aware of my pressure. Because my hands, my wrists have been getting more tired more quickly lately. And it might just be because, you know, I draw all day and then at night I'm like, well, time to take a break from drawing. Guess I'll play video games for 4 hours straight. I'm like, at the end of the day, I'm like, why are my hands so tired? I started off being really good about labeling my layers, and now I'm not even looking at them. Probably not be coloring the line art as soon, but as I was saying, it just looks a little off to me, so I feel like I should just go. Laundry is drying. Hooray! You did it! Good job. Stay on top of your tasks. Okay. Oh, but yeah, I mean, like, what does everyone else do in your like, kendo club, I guess? Because if you don't have... Is it just because, like, you're coming from another class, like, you don't have time to eat for? Because that sounds rough. Like, not being able to eat until, like, 10? After doing like kendo, I think that's a lot, you know? I'm about to eat dinner at 11:37 now. Like, that's a lot. Oh, I see. Everyone usually stops at a restaurant on the way back, but I'm too broke for that. I see, yeah. That's rough. Oh, see what I did? mix up my colors here. I use my uni's meal plan, except all the uni dining halls close before 10, so I have to pick up food beforehand. I get little side dishes from a Japanese market though, so I don't feel as bad. Ooh. I mean, that's good. I'm glad you, like, have something to eat. That sounds rough, like... ending at 10. Like, I don't even know, yeah. I don't even know what I'd do. The only person in my club right now that actually comes to all the practices, though. Good student. Good Aru. Something else I also look forward to, the Kumtai Fuku I always get after practice. Ooh. Man, I haven't had a Daifuku in a really long time. Are you enjoying kendo? I feel like it, you know, it seems like something that's very difficult. Like, it requires a lot of dedication, I guess. And I don't know many people who do it. And by not many, I think it's just you. So it's pretty hard, yeah, and there's a lot of techniques, but I do want to stick with it. I mean, that's cool. That's really cool. The fact that you just have a sword. I think it's something I want to keep up as part of who I am. That's awesome. Best of luck. Hope you can keep it up. I mean, that is just... I think that's really cool. Like, for like, I know I'm just saying, oh, that's cool, but like, I don't know what else to say because that's what I think. Like, I think that's really cool. And really, like, not even just because it's kendo, but like starting something, like picking up anything new, starting new, and then just being like, I'm determined to keep this up. Like, that's awesome. Thanks, Elliot. I think you're really cool too. Thank you. Yeah, I keep my sword in a bag, and I put all the pins I bought in Japan on my bag. There's a Suisei pin that someone recognized. Oh, that's cute! Friends. That's awesome. Imagine you save a lot on food if you're going to the market. $1 an apple. Keeps the hunger away. Yeah, if you're just like... I mean, I don't know if you're like in a dorm or like an apartment or anything, but I know some dorms even do you have like a kitchen or a kitchenette, like any way of cooking. Because I think that's, that'll help you save money. Like, same way you think you're just saying I'm cool, but you're not. I think the same way about you too. I think it's nice to appreciate other people. Yeah, I mean, like, I think that stuff is not, it's not easy to kind of pick up something new and, you know, like, more often than not, like, whenever you start anything, like a new hobby or whatever, and it's, like, difficult because, you know, you're learning something new and, you don't get, like, the results or, like, the gratification right away. It's kind of easy to just, you know, want to give up. But, I don't know, that determination is really awesome. Dorm or kitchen isn't great. I have a friend who does cook for me sometimes. That's awesome. That's good. It's good. It's nice. Yeah, and then if it's like one of those dorms where the kitchen is kind of in the common room downstairs, you know, or whatever, that's also really annoying. So I don't really blame you. But there's a lot you can do with a microwave nowadays. I'm on a racer, that's why. A lot of people know I did this besides some family, so it feels good to hear it from you guys. Hey, I will continue praising if you so desire it. Like, oh yeah, I started a uni and I picked up, like, sword fighting. Like, that's essentially what you're saying. I'll continue to use your art as my profile pictures. As now you got my back, Adi. Mastering the blade is objectively one of the coolest things you can do. Very true, Titus. It is, like, objectively cool. I think and feel we all need a little encouragement these days. Yeah. I think it's nice to be told, you know, your hobby is cool and it makes you cool. So I like to say it. Oopsie. I also like to hear people talk about the things they're interested in, or, like, you know, their thing or their hobby. I think it's always nice to hear people talk about it because it's, you know, they, like, light up or, like, they're so interested in it. And I think it's easy to kind of think, like, oh, nobody wants to hear me talk about this thing that they're not into, that I'm into, but I like to hear about that kind of stuff. Wait, I am goated! Looks a little better, but still a little off. I don't know what's going on. I wish I could talk about it more, but I don't want to bore you guys with kendo lore. Please teach me kendo lore. That sounds awesome. I'm not even just saying that. Like, I don't know any kendo lore. Wielding a katana just feels badass. There's a lot. This might be more goated than me. I want to know literally every single detail. If you don't tell me after this, I'm just gonna go on like YouTube and watch videos, so. My hobby is being kind of sick nasty at Silk Song. Praise me. That deserves praise, yeah. I'm not very far in Silk Song yet. Not because I think it's difficult, but it's not really like the difficulty, it's just that I just don't. I'm the kind of person that, like, if I get really into a game, I won't stop playing it, or, you know, I mean, that's the same with, like, manga or a book. If I'm, like, really into it, I'll just, like, read it until the sun comes up and be like, oops, I should have slept. And that's kind of how I am with, like, games, so I'm trying to... I kind of want this game to last a long time. I don't really mind going slow through it, but also I know that if I just kind of let myself play for like hours and hours one day, the next day I'll just be like, I can play another 8 hours straight and it will just spiral out of control. So I'm trying to not do that. Like, I don't really, like, love, you know, binge reading or binge watching. So I try not to do that. But it's very easy for me to fall into that. I hope you guys don't mind. It's supposed to be a representative of how people fought in the Edo period. So you must always be ready to react, even when you say that. Give me a second. I'm gonna grab my water bottle. So even when you seiza, so those who don't know, seiza is when you you sit down and you sit on your legs. Like, you kind of fold your legs and then you sit on top of them. So that's seiza. And when you say the last thing you put down is your sword and the first thing you pick up is your sword, that's kind of sick. The whole concept of kendo is the center. So you always swing down the center line. There's no sideways slashes or anything. Even torso hits are diagonal cuts from the center. Oh. This is fun to learn. I didn't know the center thing. I mean, I think I could have guessed just based on what I've seen of kendo, but I didn't know it was like, yeah, like even like a side slash or like a diagonal slash is like focused on the center. The whole idea of chi, where your power stems from the middle of your torso and you channel that power through literally just yelling. I have heard of like I don't know, like you would know, not me. Like meditation. I think I've had it explained to me in like terms of, maybe not terms of kendo, but like the whole, yeah, like the center thing of like, if you're having, you know, trouble relaxing with meditation, it's like you visualize, you know, the center and things coming, your energy coming in and out of the center of, like, you know, your core, your body. I thought that was always really cool. There is meditation at the start and end of practice. Oh. You channel the power through the yelling. Sora Sensei was like, yeah, guys, go do karaoke. It'll help you out. Your sensei sounds fun. The most power and most stability. I mean, I think that stuff is really cool because it kind of like extends out into your life, right? Like, sorry, I don't want to sound like super deep with it and you know, just hearing this, but like, right, like, that's why like fitness and sports is so like nice to do, and why it actually does make you feel good, because like not only do you just like feel better by doing like exercise and like physical movement and keeping in shape and fitness, right? But that like even not just like kendo, but things like just working out, you kind of are more mindful about like your breath, like your breathing control, and like the energy and the focus. And I think even when I just do, you know, I just like work out at home and just do like a quick workout, like if I'm just doing squats, I'm like more mindful of like the way I'm walking and stepping, and I'm a little more comfortable. Like, I think that is always nice. Yeah. I think I do notice that my left and my right brains are more coordinated now, if that makes any sense. And I'm more aware of footwork. Yeah. Like, and it's not even that you just kind of forget those, or like you don't know them until you start working out, you hit the gym, but it's like you're just more aware and you're like more focused on it. So yeah, a lot more aware of how my body moves, especially when I swing. Yeah, like I just do kind of basic like at home exercises. Like when I was a kid, I used to do dance, so that was kind of ingrained in me when I was little, just like your movements and like subtle things, and you know, pointing your toes, and like a lot of leg work and footwork. But what was I promise I was getting somewhere. Right, like my husband's more into like fitness and working out and stuff, so like he helps me when I do like exercise at home, and like, you know, fixing my form, because form is really important in exercising and fitness and stuff. And like the way he explained it to me was like a lot of working out is just like not taking the easy way, and a lot of like your form and how to do like a good exercise is like making sure like your body and like the way you move is the right, like, he explained it a lot better than I did. I'm doing, but you know, like form is really important, because it makes like something that is good and beneficial and like really helping you out to being to something like a regular sort of anything. And so kind of just being aware of what your body is doing. I think it's like, it feels better, like, right? It feels good to focus on it, right? The 4 main targets in Kendo: the head, the wrist, the torso, and the throat. Oh, I mean, that makes sense, but I just never thought of it. Like the wrist. Skills and practices of all kinds tend to bleed into improving your quality of life. Like exercise just makes me feel like my spine is a little straighter, if that's good. Yeah, like that's definitely a thing. Like you exercise a bit and then you kind of realize just how bad your posture is sometimes. Like that is something I like when working out, is just straightens you out, like like literally, like it fixes your posture, and then you exercise for a bit and you kind of realize you're way more aware of like how much you slouch in your chair, like when you're working on something or you're studying. It's a nice little like reminder. I did gymnastics when I was younger. Let's say none of it was ingrained, unfortunately. I think the footwork in kendo, as if I'm on a chessboard, each step is like a single space and get closer or further from your opponent. That is really cool. That's super cool. Yeah, like, I think that's really cool, like, to think of your movements as like a grid and like how much you can move forward and how much you can move backwards, and is moving like, and moving forward is not always advantageous. That's so cool. I was just gonna say, like, okay, but like, is that true? Like, does the sword really feel like, it's like an extension of your body, and then it's like part of you, and you're like you're still controlling your body. Kendo's really great since you need to be perfectly straight to keep the center line. Oh, that's cool. All I got from gymnastics was the run. Everything else sort of flew out of there. Yeah, I don't know anything about like gymnastics or acrobatics, but I think like it helps with like posture and regular footwork. Like, I know I've heard, so one of, I'm trying not to be like too specific, but someone I used to teach English to was like worked in like sort of like physical therapy and like massage kind of like therapy and stuff, and she once like taught me like different ways of walking that like are more comfortable for certain people, or like helps with like posture and weight or like weight distribution, or like, oh, if you need to walk a lot, then like like the rolling walk versus just kind of stepping with your whole foot. And so like I thought that was always really interesting, like just you go from like heel to toe. Just that alone can change a lot about like the comfort of your walk. Shrimping is efficient. I mean, I shouldn't be talking because like I'm like seizing in my gaming chair right now. It's like pretty bad. But I have to like actually like tell myself to unshrimp every now and then, because I'm always like working down at my tablet. Like, I'm always a little like hunched over it, and I'm trying not to have such bad posture. It's a lot of mind games too. Do you counter your opponent? Is your opponent planning to feint and counter your counter? Probably take over the center line. Fortunately, I'm not good enough to worry about that yet. And the big thing is you're not really stepping in kendo. You're kind of sliding your feet. Obviously, if you need more power, you can do a big steppy. But usually you're keeping your feet on the ground. Huh? I did not know that. Cause I didn't know it was like a slide. I guess just from watching it, I always thought it was kind of like a gallop, like a more of like a gallop kind of thing, like like successive steps. But I guess that makes more sense. And it's not like I've ever like put the gear on, but I've seen them and I like know like kind of the different parts. But similar to a gallop, actually. Okay, so it wasn't too far off. I heard that kendo toe calluses go hard, but I know that what are they like? It's not tabi. No, is it tabi? The kind of like shoe socks. Like, I think they're like getting really popular now, just among regular, like, not maybe not like fashion, but I know like people just wear them normally now to like walk or like do like hiking type things. Because you get a lot of like control or grip, or I don't know, like I don't really know anything about them, but I've seen them be like more popular. You're just not lifting your foot all the way. Oh, okay. Yep, kendo is pretty brutal on the feet. You don't wear those in kendo, unfortunately. And imagine having one foot up in the air, even for the tiniest moment, opens you up to getting tripped off balance or something, I bet. Yeah, I don't... Our dojo is actually just our uni's gym, so we're sliding our feet on bare wood. And it's like the waxed, polished, like basketball court kind of wood. Technically, it is a registered dojo by the Kendo Association, though. That's cool. Can you get like challenged? Like this can someone come and like try to take your challenge your like sensei to like the placard or something? I'm not like actually even saying that as a joke. I wonder, because I know like that comes up all the time in stories, and so I'm like, are you like able to do that? It just helps us improve our footwork. Can I ask, like, is it easy to see through the helmet? Because I've never... I don't think I've ever like, put it on, but it looks like it would either be really easy to see through, because, you know, when it's close to your face, like, the bars don't really mean anything, or if it's like your vision is still really impaired. We should compete with other schools in tournaments, but the proclamation challenges, I'm not sure. Could someone, not me, challenge your sensei for the dojo's placard, which I don't desire muchly, Allie the liar. Says innocently, taking notes. It's like a football helmet, the bars don't affect it too much. Hearing sucks though. Ooh. Is it heavy? Because it looks really heavy. Challenge me, Alley Cat, if you dare. I've played Sekiro. I can... No, wait, is there parrying in Kendo? You parry? I'm like, in like, once I start doing more like game streams, you guys will see how addicted to parrying I am. Oh yes, there definitely is. Uh-oh. Starts learning Kendo immediately. It's definitely heavy, yeah, it looks crazy heavy. You use the side of your sword to knock your opponent's sword off balance, and then you retake the center line so you get the advantage. That sounds sick as hell. That sounds so cool. Honestly, you might really like Sekiro if you're like into Kendo and you're kind of... Just the way you're explaining this to me, I'm like, wow, it's just like Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, which won Game of the Year. Hit game from Software. But as I said, it's like one of my, if not my favorite games, so I'm really, really biased about like, yeah, Sekiro's so good. I bet one would feel cool wearing all that dojo armor. I know I would. I don't know if I've ever... I'm trying to remember if I've had like an experience of kind of like touching or wearing like like kendo armor, and probably not, but I know like I've done, you know, educational kind of like museum stuff where they're like, and like the armor would be like this, and they let you hold it, and it's just like so heavy. And so it's like, you know, to give you the idea of, you know, how skilled some people had to be to like have your movements be like so swift and precise while also wearing like really, really weighty stuff. And I think that's like the surprising thing about like plate armor and medieval armor, right? Is that like it looks really heavy, but sometimes it's really light. I don't know. I could be talking out of my butt. I don't, I don't know how correct that is. I do like love watching those kinds of things, like learning about that kind of stuff. That's why I want to play it so badly. I'm going to point at the screen and go, I know that! I mean, there literally is, like... Oh, I don't even remember what it's called right now, because it's been a while since I've played it, but I mean, one of the, like, unlockable skills that you can get is literally that kind of, like, overhead strike, and if you land it, it hits, like, you know, there's a really good sound effect for it, and then, you know, it just completely, like, breaks your, like, opponent's, like, posture / stamina, like, within the game, and it's, like, a really good hit. But you need some good timing to get it to land. But it is a very difficult game. I mean, the armor is more like padding. Padding more than anything. Yeah, it's all like woven kind of like. Is it bamboo? I don't actually know. But yeah, I know it's like kind of more like, yeah, like woven like padding that you kind of put on rather than like, you know, it's not like plate armor or whatever. It's all just a bunch of things that you put on top of yourself and like layer. The sword is bamboo. The sound effect when you land a good hit with your sword on the opponent is so satisfying. It's like a snap or a pop, and it sounds really nice. I mean, that sounds cool. Because, like, it's one thing to have that satisfying sound, and it's another to know that, like, you made that satisfying sound by hitting someone with your sword. Like, come on! Yeah, if you're into countering in video games, Sekiro would be up your alley. Like, I think especially like after Sekiro, just a whole bunch of games put parrying and like offset attacks and countering more into their games. But I think, in my humble opinion, as someone who keeps saying like, guys, Sekiro is my favorite game, so I'm really biased. But I think I have not come across one that's as satisfying as Sekiro yet, but I haven't, there's a couple on my list that I haven't played it. Like, Nine Souls is on my list, and I know that one. People say that one's a really fun one that also has, like, parrying techniques, like, built into it, and Sifu, but Sifu looks like really, really hard. Up your alley! Yeah, I mean, it's half off, so I'm seriously considering it. Well, how little I've gotten done today. But that's okay. I'm really enjoying learning about kendo. I'm afraid if I keep talking about Kendo here, I'll never end. I mean, I think we're all enjoying it, so it's fine. It is, like, really interesting. I mean, I can keep talking about it if you guys want. I don't want to, like, pressure you, because I don't want you to, like, have to dig through all your fun facts. So you don't have to, but, like, I don't mind hearing about it, because it's really cool. I just don't want to take over the stream. I mean, I've been, like, really quiet today, because, I am trying to like draw and get stuff done, but also because I haven't like been talking as much, so my voice is getting way like tired fast. So I don't really mind, and it lets me like react to it. Okay, well, feel free to stop me anytime. Applause non-sarcastically. I am very much a pun enjoyer, so if you guys ever have, like, you know, puns where, like, it fits in conversation, I like that. So in Kendo, you can only score points with the upper third of your sword. I didn't know that. Because the tip is always the deadliest part of the sword, so you need to have a really good sense of distance. Oh. Getting random pun, if it fits in conversation. Sadly, putting pun bucket down. Honestly, like, I'm not that, like, picky about it. Like, I won't, like, groan unless it's, you know, a groan-worthy one, but, I still like those too. Like, I just like puns, but, you know, sometimes if it's just rapid fire puns and you're like, wait. But I do like a pun. Ideally, you're always one step away, because if you swing and step at the same time, get the point, or usually, obviously, the opponent can counter and all that. If you want a pun, let me know. It took me a bit, but that's cute. Countering in Kendo sounds sick. That sounds so cool. The position is usually where your upper third of the sword is matching the upper third of your opponent's sword. Oh. It sounds so difficult. Did you hear about the seagull who flew over the bay? I'm smiling because I know I know the answer. But like it became a bagel. I like that one. It's cute. I think that's cute. And, like I just have like that joke in particular unlocks like core memories with me because like when I can remember it like clearly. When I was young, we had those little like paper Dixie cups in the bathroom, like you know when you're just like rinsing your mouth when you're brushing your teeth and stuff. And we had these little paper cups, and each paper cup had like a cute like little illustration around it and a joke, and that was one of them. And I like clearly remember this. I don't think I remember any other like pun, like any other cup that had like a joke and a like the drawing, because it was a whole set. Like they weren't all the same, you know, seagull pun on it. But I clearly remember that one. It was very cute because it was like a drawing. It was like the illustration was like seagulls with bagels, and other like it was like one side of the cup was like the water, like a bay, like the water and the bridge and a seagull, and then the other side with the answer had like a little bagel with wings, and I thought it was really cute. But I like clearly remember this like a core childhood memory for some reason. Yeah, it was. They were like I can still sort of remember it. It was kind of like a picture book kind of style illustration. It was super cute. I'm Googling it. Dixie cups with jokes on them. I googled it, but they're not this. I remember them being cuter. Riddle cups. What? Oh, these are so cute. Where was I? Do you know how the moon gets their haircut? Eclipse it! I like that one. That one's funny. Scoring points. The whole nother concept I just striking in Kendo. I mostly have fish puns, so it's a fish on a quarter of my fish. Kikentaiti. Kentaiti. Do you mostly have fish puns like for a reason? Like again, not accusatory, more like just curious. Like, are you from like a family of fishers? Or like, do you just like fish puns? Or is it, did you go on a fishing trip and you just picked up a bunch? Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, Ki is the spirit, Ken is your sword, Tai is the body. She is one. For a strike to be valid, all three must be in one fluid mode. Oh, that's so cool. You need to shout the name of your target as you strike the target to score a point. I did not know that. Four targets is nen, kote, do, and ski. I didn't know these. I'm like, wow, I knew nothing about kendo. I have mostly fish puns because one of the characters from a game I like only does fishing puns. Oh, that's cute. That sounds familiar too. What game is that? The four targets is, yeah. And only then do I get the point. I didn't, like, I know there was yelling in kendo, but I guess I didn't know that it's like you had to, or that it was like the target. I guess I just never really like paid attention to like what was being yelled, because sometimes it's like just hard to hear what is being like, yelled. But I didn't know that. That's really cool. One of those games. Wait, the characters are really cute. It's one of those cutesy horror games. Honestly, you can just yell something at random and the judge will still give you a point. Because no one's really focused. Like, yeah, like not focused on the shout, but like more so that you just shout. I don't know if I could do that. Because this is gonna sound kind of like silly, but I don't really know how to raise my voice. As in, like, I'm not very good at like yelling or shouting or like having my voice be really loud. Like, you know, I can get like angry, but I won't really like yell. And even like singing and stuff, I don't think I can get my volume up very high. But yeah, it's like I just don't really like do it often. It's like a thing I've never really like done. Yeah, you really have to get used to it. I was scared to mention Dandy because of how I usually see people perceive the fandom. Like, I mean, right, that's kind of a... I mean, I don't really know anything about the game or the fandom, but I totally understand you. Like, it's tough to like something and be, you know, normal about liking something, and then knowing the fandom is not, and just being like, well, I like it, but you know, I don't pay attention to the fandom, and people like still don't believe you. But I understand. But I know that like a lot of those kinds of games kind of have that perception of like their fandom and their fan base and stuff, so I understand. But you know, like what you like. I'm itching to raise my voice since I got here. It's a little liberating. I can do that as much as I want here. In fact, I'm encouraged to yell. The thing is, when you first encounter your opponent, you must sound cute. don't really know how to describe it. Just look up Sunkyo and get the gist of it. I am googling that now. Oh, okay, yeah. It's like the position. A lot of martial arts like to have that show of respect kind of thing, which I think is kind of sick. Pretty cool. A lot of characters I like, you know, like anime and games and stuff, are kind of like, you know, the sports minded or like martial arts minded kind of thing, like characters. So they even like idols too, where they'll enter a place and they'll kind of like do the bow like to all the like the different people and the stuff, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. It's like in karate. Because people judge it for everything a normal fandom has, from what I've seen. Yeah, it's like I'm jumping in between like kendo and fandom talk, but yeah, like it's tough, like especially if it's like a smaller fandom, or even if it's a bigger fandom, it's always like the percentage of people are like, you know, like if it's a small fandom, it's more noticeable when people are like loud and annoying, and then when it's a large fandom, it's just as noticeable when the people are like loud and annoying. That's not. You're required to show your fighting spirit to your opponent, so you must yell in your opponent's face to show you are ready to take them on. It's like revving an engine. That's crazy. I don't think I could do that. I would like apologize after. Literally just a war cry at each other, just a war cry between bros. Seen as disrespectful, you're not taking them seriously. That's cool, actually. Oh my god, my lawn! Oh no! I think that's on me. You're telling me kendo facts. I should have remembered. Yeah, no, like take your time. Go get your laundry. I have been there before. In fact, if anyone else is like doing their laundry, go get your laundry, or you know, if you put like food in the microwave, go get your food. If you're working on a file, Control S. Yeah, save your files. All right, everyone good? We're all good? Going to bed in case I don't see you. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night. Bye, Poet. Thanks for coming in and chatting with us. It was good to see you. Hope to see you again soon. Her artist glasses. Go through that later. Oops, that was really ugly. Speaking of which, I have some stuff in mind for like Halloween or like a spooky month. But we'll get to that after September, because September is kicking my butt. I need to finish up all the things I need to finish in September before I can start thinking about all the things I need to do in October. Hopefully that won't be too long. Have some games in mind. But yeah, like I said, we'll have to probably do like a Halloween drawing earlier in the month of October, because my October will also be busy. Hello. So yeah, I will take this moment to just BRB for a bit. Be right back. Okay, I am back. Been lurking. Thank you for lurking. I don't mind any lurkers. I also understand. I'm a bit of a lurker myself. It's too authentic. I'll probably... I mean, I meant for today to be just kind of chill and remember how to stream again sort of day, so it's okay that I didn't get too much done, even though probably could have definitely finished this. Yeah, I imagine I'll probably finish up pretty soon, or like finish the stream, and I stream tomorrow, but I don't know if I want to play a game or do more drawing. Probably, I'm leaning towards a game because I've just been drawing so much lately, like off stream, that I kind of want to have an excuse to take a break. Laundry secure, yay! Hope it's nice and actually dry and not, you know, still wet. I think that's like the most annoying thing when it comes to laundry. Oh, Hollow Cure. Like, I've actually never played it, even though I think that's like the Hollow indie game. Like, one of these days I should try it. And free to boot as well. Actually, didn't know it was free. I can talk about some facts about the sword itself. Yeah, please do. Unless you want to save it for another stream. That's not like a subtle, like, hint. Like, oh, shut up. It's a... You don't feel pressured to provide entertainment for us. Actually, I like that. It's just I want to do it on a different layer. Actually, I don't have to. Yeah, I mean, with all the game announcements, I'm like, oh, like February is not that far off if you think about it. I'm like yesterday, RGG did like a big announcement thing, and I'm super like I knew Kiwami 3 was gonna happen eventually, but I did not at all predict Mine Gaiden, and I'm so hyped for it. Like, that's all I could think about yesterday. Just didn't get things done because I was like, we're getting like a Mine protagonist. I'll probably definitely grab that come February. I mean, I don't know too much about Kendo right now. I've only been doing it for a few weeks. I mean, I totally understand, but also, like, just what you've told so far has been interesting, and I, like, really did not know. Like, I thought I knew some things about Kendo, but I guess I really didn't know, like, anything. It'll be some time before a new update to Holocure because the game has grown so much bigger in scale with so many characters that every new item needs to be tested on every character. Yeah. I'm surprised how much is in that little fan project free game. But I mean, that's the cool, like, yeah, the more wires you put on the pile, the more tangled it gets. The tip of the sword is called a kensen. Its sole purpose for the ski. The only point you can score with it is by stabbing the throat. Nochi is the upper third of the sword I was talking about, which is the only way you can get points. Suba's the handguard. Fun fact, you must assemble your handguard onto your sword before every practice and remove it after. I did not know that. I didn't know that you, like, assemble and disassemble and reassemble it. I mean, for, like, every, like, practice or session. I didn't know that. That's intense. But there's also things that, like, are kind of, like, obvious, but I guess it's just something you've never really thought about. Like, so yeah, I used to do dance, and I did point, which is, you know, it's just, like, it's what you think of when you think of ballet, like, when you're the one where you're, like, just on your toes the whole time. I've done that, and then learning to, like, tie your shoes, like, with the ribbons up into your ankles, like, I think before I did that, I was like, oh yeah, this is something that you just have to do every time. Am I back? Okay, sorry about that. My microphone, like, came unplugged. Sorry. I think, like, it made, like, the staticky noise again. But I think I built my PC, so it might be my fault. But I think the USB ports that are, like, directly into my tower, which is where I put my microphone USB, I think maybe it's a little, like, loose or not connected properly, because sometimes it just kind of, like, unplugs itself or, like, gets jostled, and it like, that happens because, like, the connection isn't fully connected. So sorry about that, but I understand what the problem is now. I don't want to open up my computer. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry for, like, scaring you. I've been feeling my headset is on its last legs, so that spooked me. But I also, like, totally understand that, where I have those feelings, like, you can tell when your, like, headphones or your headset's about to, like, you know, call it, and any sort of, like, discrepancy is just like, it's time. Sorry about that. I'm so sorry. I just came to ask how hungry Ellie is and if she's hydrated. I am hydrated. Sorry, I know my throat was like my voice was getting kind of raspy, but I have tea, and I have water in case I finish my tea because I've just been like sitting here sipping tea while I listen to Otter tell me about kendo. I'm sorry for like jump scaring everyone. I didn't mean for it to happen. It just sort of happened. My favorite Holocure member to play is Mume. I was just about to say before my microphone like freaked out, was like, oh, like Vampire Survivors basically like created its own genre with its own game, like very fast. I think that's always really cool to think about. Like I wonder if we'll get like a Balatro someday, because I think I mean, I know they've been making like sort of clones and stuff and, you know, different game versions of like Balatro, but just that idea of like this small little simple kind of indie game just taking everyone by storm. I go back and read all these. This is kendo facts. So here's the string on the back of the sword. It's to symbolize the opponent's side of the blade, so you know you're actually cutting into your opponent. That's crazy. I didn't know that. That's really cool. The opponent's side of the blade, so you know you're actually cutting into your. That's crazy. Otherwise, your sword is just a stick with a handguard. Actually, fun fact, so Vampire Survivors didn't exactly create the genre that credit gets, so Magic Survivors, a less known mobile game. I did not know that, and I feel like silly for saying that. Is it weird that I know several mushroom facts for no reason whatsoever, not even because of science class? That's not weird, mushrooms are cool. Mushrooms are really cool. I think they are like so weird, and that like I think it like mushrooms are those kinds of things, like fungi is just like the more you learn about them, the more you think about them, the more you're like, humans are not the dominant species on this earth. You know, like, do you know what I mean? Like, they're so like capable of so much that you're just like, humans are kind of lucky that we're here. The way you hold the sword is very similar to a knife, and that both of your palms are on the same side of the sword instead of opposite sides, if that makes any sense. Let me... I'm like... you can't see, but I'm like trying to imagine like holding it, and then like how I would hold a knife. But like, not like I would use two hands for a knife anyway, but... the same side. Okay. I'm like cutely doing the shooting gesture to the audience while winking. Cute. The main swing's power actually comes off from your left hand. Surprisingly, the right hand is only there to help guide the sword. Obviously, it adds some power, but not as much as your left hand. Huh. Does that change if you're like left-handed or right-handed, or is it always like left hand is power and right hand is direction? Do drills slowly focusing on swinging with their left hand with his crazy heart. Vampire Survivors was popularized the genre, which is where the common misconception comes from. I just always feel like bad if I I have the common misconception. I have a blister on my left pinky, actually, because that's where most of the leverage comes from. Actually, bleeding for new practice. I said, oh, I hope it's okay. I hate having, like, any injury whatsoever on my hands, because I have to use my hands all the time. Remember, most of the leverage comes from the pinky? Titus, not being controlled by mushrooms. What? No, you humans. I mean, we humans are the dominant species. There's a mushroom cap shape called the press. They're more closely related to animals than plants. There's a mushroom called bloody tooth. Oh, yeah, I know of the bloody tooth mushroom. They're like really scary thing to look. I mean, like, I think they're really cool to look at pictures of, but like, could you imagine that you're just like hiking in the woods, or like, you know, you're a peasant in feudal times or whatever, and you're just trying to get to your next little tavern, you're walking through the forest and you just see like a bloody tooth on the ground. So some mushroom just like living its life, and you're like, oh, what is that? Like, isn't that freaky? But like, some mushrooms are so pretty too, you know, and they're very cute. But also there's I guess he's like a YouTuber in Japan, like a foraging YouTuber that's like in Japan, and I've like seen some of his stuff before because he shows up on TV sometimes, and like, that's, you know, the whole thing about foraging is the best way to learn foraging is from someone else who knows how to forage. And like, this guy, he like carries like bottles of stuff. I don't know if it's tea or like actual like antidote stuff, but he will like to tell whether or not something is like poison or like not safe to eat, he will literally just eat it and be like, oh yeah, that's poison, and he'll spit it out and like rinse his mouth, and it's like, that's what you have to do? No, always left hand is power and right hand is guide. You think of the sword as a big lever with your hands as a fulcrum. Your left hand will offer the most power, and the tip will have the most devastating blow. Ah, okay, yeah. That makes sense. Are there like different like sizes, like lengths of sword, or is it kind of like standardized, or is it like, do you get one that matches you? Like your height or your stature? Like, does that make sense? One thing I will forever find funny is that there's an army of Hollow Gear fans foaming at the mouth to give KU and his team of volunteers money, but they are refused every time. Yeah, I've seen like K stuff is pretty cool. I mean, I get it though. I think it's kind of tough because it's like, it's not like not getting money would, it's nice, but it's also, you know, it might like change you if you start accepting the payment or whatever. They're usually standardized, like they're all the same length. However, the standard lengths for men and women are different. Okay. Huh. I imagine that's probably the same as like all kinds of other, I guess, sports and martial arts. Like, you know, if you're smaller, you might not have as much power, but you have a smaller hitbox, I guess. Whereas if you're like bigger, taller, or whatever, you might have more power, but you're kind of an easier target. I guess like length is not really the issue. You know, it's this stuff that, like all sports, you just kind of have to work around based on who you are. I get that. There's also a position called Kamai. It's your base position and the position you use when you're facing your opponent. I'm learning so much today. I've done so little, but I've learned so much. Kid's reason for not accepting money is by accepting money, even donations. You sign an unwritten, unspoken agreement to work on the game regardless of how you feel. Yeah, I think that's totally understandable, I think. Because, like, especially if you're doing it just for fun, and, like, you don't really have, like, a set, like, release schedule, then it's, like, sometimes, you know, life happens and you kind of need to stop. Or, you know, especially if you're just volunteering, like, sometimes you're just, like, not interested anymore, or, you know, something else happens where, like, I mean, that's kind of what happens to a lot of people who do work at, like, studios, for example. Like, they're assigned to something, where, like, they'll go freelance not because they're not happy working at the studio that they're working at, or for something, like, for example, it's just, like, another job offer comes to them, and they kind of can't accept it because they're already, like, signed to work on a different thing, or, like, a different, like, they can kind of only work at, like, the studio, and it's gonna cause, like, not really because, like, other studios telling them, like, oh no, you can't work on this. It's just, like, all the contracts and all the legalities are kind of annoying. So, like, some people will go freelance and still work for, like, the studio or the company that they were working at, but they're allowed to, it's, like, easier for them to take other jobs and, like, other, like, projects. So it's just kind of, like, more freeing that way, I guess. Like, if you're not, you know, that makes sense. Like, if you're not taking, like, the payment, then you don't really have to feel as, like, obligated. Oops. I imagine. I don't. Where's my thing? There it is. Your pommel is facing your stomach. As ki comes from your torso. The Kensen, so it's pointing at your opponent's throat. I mean, I think that's cool. Just, like, a full, like, representation. Like, kind of just the visuals. I'll just go here. I have to just make sure my coloring is okay. And it all means every single update of Holocure can be seen as gameplay-wise complete product, which means K can. And in fact, if he ever feels like he lost passion, he can leave Holocure behind. No one can really complain either because he accepted no money. Yeah, I think that's really smart. That's, like, a really, really smart way to handle it, I think. I'm back. Also, I have a creepy animal fact, but I'm not sure if I've already said it on a stream of yours. That's fine. I, like, repeat myself on, like, every other stream anyway. I've told you guys, like, the same things, like, every other stream. Your sword acts like a pathway from your ki to reach your opponent. That's sick. It's a cool way to think about it. I will say I've been rewatching Demon Slayer again to catch up with a new movie. There are definitely words, phrases, and techniques I recognize, but definitely exaggerated. Yeah, you're not busting out the foldable 3D camera when you're doing your practices. The only obligation for Kay to finish Holocure is the one he has to himself. I mean, that's pretty sick. I think that's a cool way of doing things. But I mean, with like a game like that, like it's also kind of tough to determine whether, like, when it's finished, right? Because you can just keep updating it. It's not like it's you know, like, oh, the story is done, or like even if you know you have a story and the story is done, that doesn't mean you don't have, like, there's not more you can add to the game. So it's kind of tough to, you know, determine when a game like that is, like, you know, completed. In fact, there are actually kendo athletes with dual-wield swords. Those require a lot of strength, experience, and training, and is extremely risky. However, since people don't often know how to react, it can be a buff. I have never heard of dual-wielding in kendo, and that sounds like crazy. Like, yeah, I don't like, what would you... Oops. I feel like that situation's really funny. Like, can you imagine just doing your kendo and then your opponent comes up and he's dual wielding? Just going full let me solo her. That's okay, you don't have to, don't feel like you have to chat or be active in chat. I always don't mind, like, lurkers or, you know, I know when people are here. Or, you know, it's always nice when people kind of stop in and say hi and then say, like, oh, I'm going to be working on something, so I won't be chatting too much. Like, that's always fine with me. Like, never feel obligated to have to chat in my streams. It's totally fine. It's like me, I'm the one that's obligated to chat, right? If anything. But I know, like, also, I mean, some people don't really like when people constantly are just, like, narrating and talking. There's always... Everyone's got their preferences, right? Actually, for, like, this past week, so I've talked about it before, but I really like puzzles, like, not even just puzzle games and brain teasers and, like, riddles. Like, I love all that stuff, and I also love, like, actual jigsaw, like, physical jigsaw puzzles. And this past week was, like, the world like, speed puzzling competition, which is exactly what it sounds like. It's people race to finish jigsaw puzzles the fastest they can, and there's some really insane times. But that was, like, this past week, and they had live streams, and I thought it was super exciting and super fun to watch. But I just remember that, like, because they have commentators, because it's, like, a live event, and I just remember some people were just like, I don't like listening to the commentators, they talk too much. And it's like, what do you think, what are you expecting, what do you think? Like, that's their job, that's literally what they're there for. One thing that makes Holocure such a great fan game is that it has appeal outside of the Hololive fandom, and despite being chock full of references to Hololive, its first priority is fun game mechanics. Yeah, I think, like, right, it looks like a fully, like, fleshed out game that just kind of uses the characters and like references. So I think if you like, you know, Vampire Survivor kind of games, like Holocure is still good, even if you don't know a lot about Hololive. But even like honestly, I'll say like even for me, sometimes like I'll see stuff and like the Holo indie games, and I'm just like, I don't understand that reference. Like I don't watch every single stream from every streamer. Like I don't know what that is. But yeah, I like that they pay attention to that. I think that's cool. Because right, there's some, and I'm not dunking on these games for this, but I know like some Holo indie games are really just like, for example, like some other game, you know, like a Suika game, which is kind of reskinned to have like Hololive flavor to it. And again, I'm not like dunking on it for that because I think that's totally fine. But yeah, like I mean, Holocure just sort of feels like its own game. Which reminds me, I have to the Rodin nonogram one is still on my list because I love nonograms and Rodin is fun to watch. From time to time, I really like when she talks about art. So that is definitely like on my list. And I like to do nonograms and I like to show you guys nonograms. So is it? I don't think it's on sale or anything. Let me check. I have Steam open. I'll just be like a tiny bit salty. I'll say like one thing and then I'll stop because I don't like to be salty about this, or especially talking about it on stream. But like, because I'm much more of like a Holo Stars fan, and I know like I really, really appreciate when some of the Holo indies out there put stars representation in their games, but I know like some people are like really, really against it, and that I think sours the entire thing, because like, you know, this is just like a fan community, fan games, like putting stuff together, and then you get some sour apples who are just like, no, I don't want that. And it's like, okay, that's fine, but that's not your call to make. I think I've exhausted my kendo knowledge. That's all I know for now. I mean, thank you for sharing it. It was really interesting. I did not know a lot of that stuff. That's really cool. Thank you. Like, for real. Maybe I'll go, like, watch a video on it and try to learn some more. Obviously oversimplified, but hard to describe physical movements with words. Yeah, I don't mind. I've been playing Chrono Gear and it's genuinely a fun and sweet game. Oh, cool. Wait, let me... Yeah, I'll also just be like really honest about and I don't want to make it sound like I'm just like complaining, because I'm not, as in this isn't something that I take that seriously, or like I am not that mad about it even though I'm saying this, but like personally I am not really into all of that kind of like lore stuff, and like I guess, like, I don't know how else to describe it, like the lore stuff of like, oh no, like my, like this VTuber character is actually like a powerful mage, like does this, and like that sort of stuff is not the stuff I'm super interested in. So I think it's like, I think it's cool, and I can totally understand why people are super into that, but for like, it's not really like the part of the appeal for me. I mean, as you can see, my favorite, my Oshi, you know, his thing is a bartender, and he kind of like sometimes does things about that, but very, very normal if you compare that to all of the like 1,000-year-old gods who are like the warden of concepts and like, you know, all this kind of stuff. So I totally get it. It's just like not really like my thing. And the point of me saying that wasn't like, oh no, I'm never gonna play this game. Like don't even talk to me about that. It's more that like, oh, I haven't checked it out because like, you know, for me, I was just like, oh, cool. I want to play the rotten picture game, which tells me about paintings. But that being said, I have wanted to check out the Tempest, like, visual novel like dating sim kind of thing. That's been on my list for a long time. I just haven't like gotten around to it yet. Yeah, and I know like Kay is like both aware and like knows of like putting Kalasars in. I know that he's like literally watched because like Oga plays Holocure a lot, and then when they update, like Oga will do a big stream on it, and I've seen like Kay like super chat him and be in his chat and be like, "Oh, thanks for playing," and stuff like that. So I know it's like certainly like it's on the table, but I mean, there were certainly like, was it like the fighting game one that people got like actually like pretty mad that they put like the like stars in as like NPCs, which is like just, but like also I will say, as someone who is a fan of a lot of like Josei Muke things, especially things that kind of have like, you know, the quote unquote like boy version of like girl things, like so for example like Idolmaster Side M, I'm quite used to like a small percentage of the fan base being really loud and angry about like male characters and anything. So I'm used to it. I'm not, which sucks, I guess, but also it's like it's not new to me. I just like ignore that stuff because it's like they're also like not the majority. They're just loud. I get that I tend to separate character and streamer. It's like the concept of promises characters. So that's why I try to. Yeah, like I'm totally. I think it's fine for like liking the concepts, and I think it helps for a lot of like creativity, like projects, like especially things like this with like indie games and fan art and stuff. But I mean, all the stuff I do is always just like clips. And even the like animations I do are always kind of more normal in a sense of that, and not really like, you know, like, oh, I want to do an animation of Ruse, so I think I'll do like this kind of thing, or like I'll draw this, and not necessarily like Ruse swinging his axe around and fighting monsters. But like I totally get it. Like it's fun. It's fun to draw your faves with weapons and looking cool and stuff. But I'm always just like, it's like that one meme that's like, this is great, but I love this. And it's just like me with like all the other like like VTubers and Hololive Productions that have like all this lore and like stories and all these things, and I'm just like me at Robotu, like I like this. I had to do something for a bit, but I'm back. Yeah, welcome back. Yeah, we'll always be those people. And it's totally not even just, yeah, like it's not even just these things. It's like people just get so mad about like, so it was really obvious too. Yeah, I think like especially with debuts, it's like people are so even if they've, you know, been streaming in their like quote unquote like past lives a lot, like when you debut, you're so nervous or like you know, you don't really know what to expect. So I always kind of like I'll watch a debut and then I'll like, okay, I'll give them a bit, like even if they didn't really interest me or whatever, like even if the debut stream didn't like catch my attention, I'll be like, well, I'm sure like once they kind of get used to it, I'll watch them again and be like, oh, he's got it. It's fun. Yeah, I'm sure the majority of fans stick around for the real person rather than the fake lore. Lore being fake is actually part of the point even. Yeah, right? Like, it's fun when it's not that set in stone. But yeah, like, especially with streamers like VTubers, I'm sure most people just don't stick around for, like, you know, the lore isn't the thing that really draws them in, but I do know, like, I have noticed that, like, especially in, like, I guess maybe animations and stuff, I always see a lot of, like, fights, like, animated fights and stuff. But, again, like, my point wasn't really like, oh, I wish people didn't do this. It was more that, like, oh, I haven't checked out this thing because, like, I don't really, like, I haven't really, you know, that's not on my radar. My radar, my, like, you know, my Twitter list and my radar is always just, like, cutesy stuff. I can imagine myself as Musashi Miyamoto every time I swing my sword, but in reality, I'm just a little guy. It's the real Hollow Knight situation. You're just a little guy. Yeah, the lore is just there for funsies. Do they still do the 1 month before collab rule? I think it's good to keep an eye on them around that time to see how they interact with everyone else in Hololive. I mean, it's not like I know exactly what their rules are, and you know, it's not like I would know, but yeah, like I know that they do have some rules, especially that, like, I think it's like a month or like a couple weeks they can only stream for like a certain amount of time, but actually I think it's kind of a good idea, especially since, like, if you're starting out and they just do a bunch of collabs with, like, other like VTubers in the company that kind of have their own established fan base, then it doesn't really give them a chance to grow at the beginning. It's like people are just kind of like, a lot of people might just be tuning in because the person they're collabing with. So I think it's like, I can definitely understand why, but yeah, it's like you kind of have to remember to give them a bit of time. And despite Reeves' like rough exterior, he's deceptively cozy. He's a cat guy. He's got his cats. And yeah, he's like really nice. Okay, I'm just like chatting at this point. It's fine. New Kendo Chef. It's my birthday! Don't hit me up, it's my birthday! There's actually a girl in my Kendo club that does the Hornet Sha as her Kendo Chef. That's awesome. That's amazing. That's so good. That's what I would do if I was doing Kendo. She wins. She's get good. That is incredible. That's amazing. Admiring the outside collab ban was more to allow their members to gain a core established fan base and to avoid claims of leeching off others' popularity. Yeah, like, I mean, that's kind of what I was saying. And yeah, people can be really negative. And I do think that people don't really recognize how even like unintentionally like invasive some comments and like speculation can be of like, so like I can just imagine a scenario where like a new person would like collab with or do like multiple collabs with an existing streamer, and like people would just be like, oh, I bet they knew each other, or like I bet they're friends, and it's like people don't really like realize how, even though that's quite an innocent statement, that can be a little like prying into them. Oh my god, it's late. I didn't even realize. Oh yeah, it's like, I'm sorry. Like, to be fair, you just finished your laundry. I think with like Roberu, a lot of his stuff is like collabs and talking and just kind of like playing with a lot of different people, especially outside of Hololive productions. But also he does like really long, big solo streams that I love to watch. Like I love watching him play through like an entire game. Like the entire Yakuza library has just been such a fun thing to watch. Like I love Yakuza, and seeing him go through it and loving it so much was really like a treat. And actually I am working on I have a Roberu clip that I'm working on that is about Yakuza, and I need to get it done before, not like before something, but it would make more sense if I finish it before Kiwami 3 comes out. So like February is my hard deadline. I am sure I can finish it before then, but I'm not like happy with like the storyboards I have for it yet. But I definitely want to get at least one. Like I kind of want to do more because I'm such a big fan of both Roberu and Yakuza that I want to do more like clips for that. I will do one more little BRB, and then I think it's a good time to call it, because I've been going for I have drawn so little, but I've chatted so much, and we can wrap up. I'll be right back. Sorry. I'm back. Okay. A lot of people are too presumptuous, yeah. Again, I know it's usually not ill-intentioned, but it's just something I like thought about more because like I do streams, but like again, I don't think people are being intentionally like weird about it, but Like, for example, I've seen VTubers talk about, like, oh, it's getting close to dinner time. And then someone in chat will be like, oh, he said it's close to dinner time, which means it must be around 7. And it's just 7 o'clock right now in, like, this time zone. So they probably live around here. And it's just like, oh, wow. Like, you know, they probably don't mean anything bad about that. But, like, that's quite, you know, you can, you know, I think it's easy to feel uncomfortable about something like that. So I think it's good to be mindful about the kinds of things you're saying in chat. Again, like, this is not me making a huge, wide, sweeping comment on, like, a certain fan base or, like, you guys, but it's just something I've, like, noticed, and it's kind of, I think it's easy for people to not realize how, like, telling some comments can be. I love when holomems do long streams. My Oshi used to do them, like, nearly every other week. Broken heart emoji. Yeah, I love long streams. I mean, now that I stream, I'm like, I just don't understand where they have this energy to stream for that long. But I like them because I usually have a stream on when I'm not streaming and I'm working, like drawing or something, or like working on a long like illustration, and so I like to have just like a long stream on. I think that just maybe Alley Cat is on Earth, but I can't prove it. So Roberu does have those dance moves. Roberu is effortlessly funny. I've been meaning to watch Roberu for like a year now, but I've never got around to it. Let me just talk about my Oshi for a little bit. I will stop. Yeah, he is effortlessly funny, and I think something even more impressive than being just like so funny without any like effort is that he's also very like considerate. I think they talked about this recently on her. She was talking about like they did like this collab kind of event thing with voice actors, and she was trying to like give them Vegemite and stuff, and I think she like mentioned it on her stream when she was talking about it, that like Roberu is very attentive to that kind of stuff. Like she was getting nervous talking to the seiyuu, like the voice actors, and he just kind of noticed and started covering for her and just kind of like you know, joked around with them so that she'd feel like a little bit like she would be less nervous. And I think he does that a lot. That's a cool drawing. Thank you so much. I'll come in. Thank you so much. I worked on this very, very slowly, but I think it's cute. But yeah, and doing clips for and about Roberu, I've noticed that quite a lot, that when he collabs with people, he is very attentive and like considerate and like will be the Kansai jokester and kind of get the attention off other people if they need it. And I think that's super cool. And yeah, his dance moves. So I'll say 2 things about that. I'm trying not to like talk too much about my Oshi, because I can talk for hours about my Oshis. You know, he always like hates doing karaoke streams and stuff like that, even though I think he has a very nice singing voice. But I think he very clearly takes like the idol side and like the idol work he has to do for Hololive Productions very seriously, and I think that's very cool. But also I think most people think about when he did Venus in the Holostars karaoke thing, and it wasn't even him singing Venus, it was like Rika and Sheehan, and he just started dancing. But so I'm a huge like idol otaku, and Venus is like an iconic, like classic kind of idol song. So there is a dance to it, like a very like there's a dance to it, and he was doing it, and so I was just like, oh, this guy like knows Venus, and he is just dancing it. So that was just really like very nice for me to see. Like he put his whole body into that, and so I was happy that he got to like do it, or like at least like Bae made him do it. VTuber voice stuns idol crowd with superb dance. But like honestly, yeah, because I was like, oh, I mean, I think I'm like his age. So I was like, oh, yeah, he would know this. But I thought that was very cool. That like he knew it and like danced with his whole body for it wasn't even his turn. But as an idol fan, I super appreciate that. Not even just like knowing Venus, but also like having that mindset when it comes to like he has to do idol stuff, even though he like kind of doesn't want to. I mean, I was at the Hellstar's like 5th anniversary concert, like in person, and I remember thinking like, oh, he's so quiet. He's like very like reserved on stage. But he was really like performing a lot, and so I thought it was really cool. Like, I think it's very interesting and understandable. But yes, please, I would love to learn more about Oberu. I do understand that it's like it can be tough to watch, not even just like Hollow Stars, but Hollow Live JP if you don't really know a lot of Japanese. And I do not want this to turn into like me, like a stream where like I air out all my like grievances about the fandom or whatever. But I know like some clip. Oh, I don't want to say this because like that's not really how I feel, so I don't want to say anything that I don't really mean. But it can be difficult to watch like Japanese streamers if you don't really know a lot of Japanese, and like sometimes like the clip channels that translate them or like do clips of like the Japanese streamers, it's not like exactly what you're looking for, or like, oh, I wish they would do more clips of like this streamer because I'm interested in this streamer. So I totally understand, and I don't like blame anyone. But yeah, there are some bad actors in the clipper scene, and like I think there are also people that aren't like intentionally trying to be bad or quote unquote like problematic, but I guess I'll just say that like if it can cause trouble if you're not like, I guess, having your work checked, like if you don't really have an editor or someone who's like checking your work and like you're just making clips and just posting them, like you can be making translation errors and not even really be aware of it, like not even by your own fault, like you're not trying to intentionally mistranslate something. But it's like sometimes you just miss stuff, and that's okay to just miss something. But if you're not aware of it and you're not like deleting your clips or whatever, like, yeah. Because these are like real people, right? Like these VTubers, they're people. Like it's not just, they're not just like anime characters, or like you didn't just like mistranslate a manga panel and you can like redo it and be like, oh no, well that's not what happened. Like this is the real, like this is the updated version. Like you're representing like real people who are saying things, and if you misrepresent them by mistranslating something and you don't like own up to that mistranslation, then like that reflects onto a VTuber, right? But that was a tangent. What I meant, what I like actually mean, is that like I totally understand that it can be difficult to like watch anything or like kind of consume a lot of content from streamers if you don't like speak the language. But I will say that if you can, like, definitely give the Japanese side like a shot. Like, I think, you know, there's some, like in Hololive, like Korone, for example, I think because a lot of her stuff gets clipped and like they're quite funny, even if you don't understand Japanese, like, that works. But there's a lot of other, you know, people in the JP side that are really like just as entertaining, and you might not know because like you don't see them clipped as often. And these are real people. I think in general fans sometimes forget that message. Yeah, and like to a point they are sort of like playing up a character on stream. Right, like, but that's, you know, you can just say that about regular YouTubers and streamers. Like they are sort of playing it up for an audience, but they're still like real people that are like saying things and their own opinions, and you know, they're just like playing a video game, and if you kind of you know, misconstrue what they say, that can have consequence. I'm not 100% fluent in Japanese, but I can understand a decent amount of Japanese streams, and trust me, there's a whole other world that you can't see with translated clips. Yeah, that is something that I struggle with a lot with the clips that I do, and like the translations I do for those clips, where I'm like, I want this to be as funny as it is when, if you like, if as someone, like, if you understand the Japanese that's being said here, it's really, really funny, and I want to get that same amount of like funny as if like from reading a subtitle, and that's like really hard sometimes. But you know, like I love my Hall Stars EN boys, but I like to do more of the clips for like not only my Oshi like Roberu, but because I think I can do like those translated clips and people can kind of get a little bit more from them to see like what they're about and how funny they are. Yeah, I think no matter how much of a character some of the talents play, the real person always bleeds into their streaming. Yeah, I agree. But yeah, I mean, I think if you see a streamer that you're interested in playing a game that you're interested in, just watch. Cause like, yeah, I don't even understand like all the stuff that they're saying all the times too. But I think like if you do like the start with like, oh, I wanted to watch Roberu more, he does sort of like do long plays of stuff. Like, so he'll have like 10-hour streams. I don't know how he does it. But he recently like went through every Like a Dragon, you know, Yakuza game. And if you like that, like I think like his playthroughs are certainly worth it because he cares about the series. He's not just like going through them and being like, oh, the heat action's funny. He's like thinking about it, and he cares about the characters. And as someone who is a huge RGG fan, I like really, really appreciated that. But his like Mario Kart streams are also really, really funny. before Hello EN was even released, I'm still a Hachima fan. With Hachima, there were fan translators in chat. Yeah, I think like fan translators are really impressive because it's hard to do that fast. But I do remember, because it's like, you know, you're like live translating stuff. Sometimes like they do make mistakes, and if you just kind of read that really fast and it's a mistake, it's kind of hard to be like, oh, hang on, actually I made this. I do remember one where I think it might have been like Matsuri or something. I don't want to like say it. But I remember like, because it was like my friends who do translation were talking about it. It was like someone in the live chat was translating things and they were kind of getting things wrong, and it was like fine. Like they weren't too bad of mistakes, but like there was one where it was like, oh, this could be bad, because it was her talking about like advice, or like she was trying to give advice on something. And it was like, because that was a bad, like they accidentally mistranslate something in the live chat. They're like, oh, well, somebody could read this and think like, oh, this VTuber gives bad advice, and or like she said this and it's completely wrong, like she has no idea what she's talking about. So it's like right, like there's things where it's okay to make, you know, not be 100% accurate on it. And I think a lot of people who like read the live chat translations kind of understand that there's going to be some inaccuracies. But like when it's something like that, you know, like the streamer who's trying to give advice, like that can be really, really important. Yeah, you have to be specific. But, you know, that being said, I don't think like people shouldn't be doing live translations or anything. But it's tough. It's all just tough, right? Sometimes they talk streamer mode where you can hear what they're saying properly, and they revert to local talking mode and you can no longer hear or understand anything. Bro, I want to watch his RGG stuff so badly, but I haven't completed Zero yet, and I don't want any spoilers beyond that point. Totally fair and understandable, and I think honestly the right way to go about it. I say like, if like just go through the stuff that you have completed, because I think his stuff is really fun, and he but I think that's good. Like, don't spoil yourself on RGG stuff, especially Zero. Like, don't spoil yourself. But also, go play more Yakuza 0. It's great. It's so fun. I got into Hololive like around Gen 2. I remember the struggle. Loki, I want to be a stenographer just to be able to do all those type works. Have you like seen how stenographers like do their work and the machines that they use? Because I think that's crazy. Okay. After this, I know, right? Well, like, even the device itself is so confusing and like weird, and I can't. I mean, obviously they practice and they train for that, and because it's important, you know. It's like court room, you know, it's important, but it's like I cannot wrap my head around it. Yeah, they have special keyboards with like like phonetic phrases and just like letters put together, and like one key is like 4 letters on it. It's so crazy. I've seen like 5 different explanations on how stenographer typewriters work, and I still don't get it. And the payoff is bare minimum 200 words per minute. Like, I can't even like process 200 words a minute in my head. Okay, I didn't mean to get so like heavy about like VTuber fandom talk. Let me save this. Everyone save your files. And so after this, I'm probably just gonna be working on this until I finish. Just I showed it before, but this is like the Roberu animation I was working on. I'll play it. So it's like really simple, and as I said before, I'm like really not happy with a lot of the coloring and like the shading. It's like really inconsistent, so I have to go back and fix all those things. But it's like, for the most part, kind of... I'm like, I think it looks good, I just don't love it. But I think that's also just me being a little hard on myself. I think I'll probably maybe do a little bit of timing adjustments, and I might like it a bit more. But we'll see. Let me see if this, and I'll show you like... It looks so good though, thank you. This is the Ruse one. What do I not like about it? So I was kind of talking about it before, but a lot of my like coloring is like the colors are very inconsistent. So if you kind of, I don't want to like just point out all my mistakes to you guys, especially if you're like, no, it looks good. Because I appreciate that, and I don't want to like step all over that, but kind of like this area, like the torso and the shoulders, the neck, and like the hoodie, I think it jumps around a bit too much. Like my lines are very not consistent. You can see like right like this, you know, like the lines are just kind of jump left and right a bit too much to my liking. I know it's like me saying this out loud makes it, I realize how little of a problem that sounds, but I think because I'm like doing the animation, I'm like, oh, I like, it's so noticeable to me. And as you can see, some of the, like some frames are like fully kind of colored and shaded, and some of them are totally like missing like half the shading. But it's because like, yeah, I was like, some of them, like some of my colors just jump around a bit too much for my liking, so I need to go edit those and just kind of like shave off some of the shading. Yeah, okay, so like I'm not just like making it up, like I'm not being too hard on myself. It's just like, yeah, some of my lines, especially like these on this side, it's just a little like, it's just moving a bit too, it's like not consistent. And I definitely notice it. I know it's like not, because right, like the focus is here on the face, right? I get it. But I just can't not think about it. Better jiggle physics. Definitely, but it's something that'll make you feel more complete, and that's good. I feel that too in my animations. I think it's good pointing out mistakes help set you in reality a bit, if you get what I mean. Yeah, I think it's like, I think something I've been working on is realizing like when something is kind of a mistake that I can fix and I have time to fix it, and stuff that's like, okay, this is a very little thing and it's going to be on screen in this animation for a fraction of a second. I do not need to worry about it that much, but because this is like a short animation and it's like multiple frames, I'm like, I think I can go back and fix it. But yeah, as some of you are understanding, it's like, notice. Oh no, it's okay. Sorry, I really wanted to take a shower before it gets too late, so I'm going to leave now if I don't manage to come back to stream on time. Thank you for the stream. Thank you for coming and telling me about kendo. It was really, really interesting. Thank you. It was super fun. Have a good rest of your night. Get some sleep. I'll probably stream tomorrow. I don't know what I'll do. Probably maybe a game. We'll see. But yeah, take care. Have a good night. Get some rest. And thank you. Thank you again for all the kendo facts. I had a really, like, genuinely a fun time learning about it. And like, I'm wrapping up anyway, so don't worry. Also, don't forget, I just read the casting technique you talked about, and that does sound really cool. I like to watch videos of that. Like, I like to watch a lot of like crafting sort of, and not just like arts and crafting at home, but like artisan crafting kind of videos. I like to watch a lot of that kind of stuff. But anyway, yeah, so I'll probably, after stream, I'll be working on this. And then I have a Ruse one because Ruse's birthday is like right after Rose, and it's tough having Oshis with birthdays right next to each other. But I'll give you a little peek. Oh wait, the camera... Let me get the... The camera was not turned on for that, because there's effects. So this is the Ruse one. It's a really... Why is the opacity like 0? It's a little animation of him flicking you in the forehead. Oh, it's because my opacity literally is... I don't know. I see that it's like half opacity, but I don't know where the opacity is. I should get going too. I gotta leave for college. Thanks for the stream. Shame I can't drop in here because you start at 3 a.m. for like, okay, if I start streaming at 3 a.m., you don't feel obligated to come in, watch like the VODs, or like maybe, I don't know, maybe I'll try to stream at a different time. But thank you for coming in and chatting and stuff. Have a good afternoon, a day. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thanks for coming in and chatting with me. I really appreciate it, especially since that's a wild time. But thank you. Like custom silver signet ring made for me using the lost wax method. That sounds cool. All right, since everyone needs to get some sleep, and I should get some food, we'll wrap it up here. I know I meant to do that like an hour ago, but I know we always do like a checklist and stuff, but like maybe, like I know what I have to do. I just told you I'm gonna work on this for a bit, so I think we'll like just skip it for today, and I think, oh, also that's really cool. That always feels good. I think, right, I'll work on this. I have some other things, so I know like the cafe, like the autumn image, that's like essentially done, but I don't have a background for it. So okay, can I open that? So right, like this is like basically done. It's just I don't have a background, and as you can see, there's just like 3 rectangles in the background because that's as far as I got. Because I couldn't really decide like where in the cafe I kind of wanted to do the background and how I wanted to do it. So it's like I promise, like even though I haven't been streaming for a bit, I've been doing a lot of stuff off stream. And I will post and share these soon. I just like don't feel that they're done myself. And as I said, this one is just like it's just the background I need to do. And once I do that, you know, a lot of my stuff is literally at like 90% completion. But yeah, we have that. I've got some fan works to work on. Probably I'll be finished soon. But yeah, I think the plan is to stream again tomorrow. I'll probably do like a chill game or like a puzzle game, or maybe I'll start like a visual novel kind of thing. I haven't quite decided on the game yet, but it will. I think it will be a game because I've been drawing so much. I need a little break. But thanks for coming in. I know it's been a minute. So So it's nice to see everyone again and talk to you guys. I hope you guys are well, taking care of yourselves. And yeah, I always appreciate it. Thanks for coming in, chatting with me, liking my art and stuff. Yeah, I guess I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you again. Arigatou gozaimashita! I'll see you guys all later. Thank you so much. Have a good, enjoy your night or your day, etc. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye!